Mayor Kim, first thing I want to talk about is the North Kona water situation. On Wednesday at 4:40 p.m., we got an emergency declaration, and I think most people know the North Kona water restriction has been going on for quite some time. In an interview with Keith Okamoto that I did for Island Issues several months ago, he mentioned that the first two wells went out last fall, so nearly a year ago. But of course, they didn't know what the problem was, so they did not order parts, and then things got serious in January. You've now issued an emergency declaration. What are the implications of that emergency declaration?
Yeah, that was, can be so misunderstood, so thank you. This past weekend, the emergency declaration was prepared in case we need state help and emergency funds. And the governor was told that we got all this prepared, so in event something does happen, we have to go to the next scale. We're getting things all ready, so he would know. Things like the National Guard assistance for emergency transportation or whatever, pumps or whatever. But anyway, this past weekend, before the weekend, it was brought to my attention that the lack of irrigation on the Kona fields is diminishing return. Very shortly, the grass will be dead, and even if we irrigate, it won't come back. So that's when you have to make a decision now. Do we have to try to save it because of diminishing return on trying to get it all back? And we did not want to irrigate. So what I had to do was call in Public Works for assistance in regards to using our pumper, a cannon as we call it, that sprays the water out. They would be able to irrigate. Can the field take the weight of the truck and all those kind of things? So the decision was made, okay, we should try to save the field.
And you're talking about maybe Old Airport Park?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so where to get water from without tapping the restricted area, water department was called. So the decision was made, okay, 3-day holiday, let's start on Saturday. Well, that's when you need money outside and resources outside of the water. As long as you get out of the water department financing, we don't have the money. Just a semi-autonomous group. So this is why the declaration was made at this time, because for the first time I'm using outside resources that cost money.
And that means the county budget is actually now being used to
but emergency
assist with
funds.
this.
We have
Okay.
emergency funds set aside for those things, and that's why I did it. So legally I can tap that funds.
It has felt to many folks in North Kona like there is no sense of urgency about the water situation, because clearly if it's been going on for a year and nobody knows why the pumps are going out, why when the new pumps arrive they appear many times to be broken. We understand that one of the sets of equipment actually fell into the well, and that obviously was just an accident. But what can be done to get more of a sense of urgency to literally call in outside experts? There's got to be somebody who can help guide our water department in actually getting a solution to the problem so we can get done with it.
Truthfully, Sherry, I've been in the emergency line a long time. I've worked with water department, as I told them. The worst experience I had was not because of mechanical, because of nature's way of drought. And boy, that was bad, and those days the water system was not like today as far as number of wells. And the area most affected, I remember, was South Kohala, the farmers there. I can tell your viewers, truthfully, there is nothing I did not review with them and others to see what else can be done, to what else can we prepare for, and what else can we mitigate for future prevention. And I have a total confidence that the review was good, and what is being done in regards to by the water department. And you were there, obviously, during the not briefing, but the community meeting. And I made a crack that I hope you feel better. And I know it was not an appropriate crack to some, paying your water bill, because I thought they did a good job explaining what they did and what we're doing, et cetera, and I still feel the same. We have a situation here that there's no other way to explain it. It's one of the, I remember telling Mr. Magno when he gave me the latest update, it was a weekend again, probably, and telling me bad news, the pump that was supposed to come from Waimea. I said, what now? His exact words were, boy, Harry, they don't get a break. And that's what, not very good news. And he told me about the pump was not functioning that was going to bring from Waimea. All those kind of mechanical things, I cannot explain it. I tell people this way, Sherry, the best explanation I have, that you bought 10 cars, brand new, every one is supposed to function. And for no reason, 5 of them don't even start. Will that happen? You hope not, but obviously it possibly can. And that's all I can explain. I've been in this business over 40 years. I've never seen anything like this of new pumps or a cable breaking when they're hauling the pump out. And this is not water department people. These are the professionals you hire. I saw this, the only other time I saw this was geothermal. They had a broken drill and they had to haul it out, and the cable didn't snap, the drill snapped or something. It does happen. Now, as far as the mitigation, on civil defense side, which is the mayor's office, in charge of civil defense, I cannot think of anything more that we have not discussed in regards to try to make it easier for people as far as water, announcements, even that is coordinated. I don't know how many weekends we've met, because that's when we have time to meet, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not trying to pacify the situation. I'm telling you what it is. If there is anything that we have not done that I think we should do, point it out and I'll review it.
Well, I think that people are just getting a bit frustrated. And as you point out, you wanted to make sure you could water the old airport fields, but there's a lot of people who have landscaping, and they're in the same situation because people really are doing what they can. I mean, Keith Okamoto has said that the water usage is not excessive, but particularly when we have Ironman coming, and we know there's going to be thousands of people who tend to use way more water just because they're doing athletic events all the time. And no resentment against Ironman. It's a great thing for our community, but people want to be able to get back where they can water their own yards. And I know that I read this morning actually in the Tribune Herald that the Water Board is going to have an emergency meeting on September 13th, Saturday at 10 o'clock at West Hawaii Civic Center. Not clear what their agenda will be, but clearly everybody in the community who's affected by this wants to feel like there is a sense of urgency that after a year of this, we want to get on with the solution. So thank you for the declaration, and hopefully that will lead people who I know are already working really hard to be able to call in the kind of experts to get a solution.
On that comment about the people's irrigation, we talked about that. How would it feel to people to see us irrigating a ballpark and they cannot feel? So we have to make sure we explain that this is water from outside of the area, et cetera, not, and being brought in by county public works, et cetera. But I'll tell you this, we are so happy. If you go to Civil Defense Office, you'll see a chart thing identifying the water levels of each pump. So it's monitored to the critical level, et cetera, all that kind of daily monitoring. And we are so happy, and maybe I shouldn't use that word. I don't want to say satisfied, but we are happy and so pleased with the community response to the conservation, because we have not approached near the critical level for only one reason, because people are conserving. And I'm sure, because I get the same complaints about my yard, my flower, even, are you going to pay for this when we can water? I am aware of all that. But besides that, on top of that, we are so pleased with the Kona people. One of the tanks, in the Mauka area, well, they're all Mauka, it's at almost 100% level since we started. Yeah, so whatever to replenish relay is meeting the expended use. And the rest, I think the lowest we got is maybe 60-something%. That's the lowest we got. Well, and this is all because people are conserving. And
good for people in North Kona. That's great.
it's more than great, because I told you I've been through a lot. And there's times where we literally had to send people out to say, you need to do this. Literally, people had to be threatened that their meter was going to be shut off. But
actually, the water department does not have a law in place that would allow them to shut off people's water or even to fine them. Isn't that true?
They have now a declaration.
I see.
Yeah.
So the emergency declaration allows the water department to actually issue a monetary ticket or to shut people's water off?
Shut them off.
How about to issue the monetary ticket?
I'm not sure
Not
about
sure
that.
about that, but they can shut people's water off?
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't wait till the first major hotel that overuses water hears that.
There's a lot of I don't want to do
being
that.
sarcastic.
Yeah, I know
I
what
know
you.
everybody's trying,
But
and that's okay.
like one of the things that I find out that like the airport, because hey, this guy's still watering. Well, because they're using their wastewater. And it's great to learn those kind of things, because I didn't know they came that far since I was here last. They're washing the cars with wastewater.
I want to change
I should
topic.
say level 2. Don't want people to visualize dirty water.
Oh yeah, well, the treated water is perfectly fine if you're not drinking it. You can use it on your car.
We hope to have it level 1 one day, which you can.